Wouldn't be self-made if you received a handout. Welcome or welcome back. It's your favorite mental health specialist, Ty Guidance, and yes, that is what we're going to be talking about in today's video. With that being said, because there's no right or wrong way to heal yourself, always and only take what resonates as well as leave the rest, as well as grab your pen and your paper and be prepared to take notes. In this video, we're going to go over the importance of being self-made and why you should always support yourself, always be there for yourself, as well as some disclaimers, some reminders, and some recommendations. You have to realize that when you are self-made, it is going to take you longer. It's going to take more time. It's going to require more energy. It's going to require more effort. So with that being said, you don't have to rush your journey. You don't have to rush yourself. You don't have to rush your process. When people have the resources, when people have help, when people have support, all they're doing is maintaining what it is that they received. You're not in that situation. Now, this doesn't mean that you're not going to have moments where you don't receive assistance, because we all do, but 99% of the time, you are capable, if not 100, you're capable of doing things alone and by yourself. So if you have people that are willing to support you and be there for you, always be grateful for them, and always be appreciative of them. With that being said, number 2, you don't have to compare yourself. You have to realize that when you're building your legacy, when you're starting a business, when you're putting yourself through college, when you're buying your first house, when you're buying your own car with your own money on your time, you can't worry about people who already have the things that you have. You can't worry about people who have a 2-parent household or people who've always had everything handed to them. It's not fair to yourself and it's not fair to them. They're not better than you and you're not less than of them. You see, a lot of people who are not self-made have to depend on connections and resources and their parents and their caregivers. And once again, nobody's envious of them, nobody's upset, but a lot of people cannot do things by themselves. You do have a lot of people, grown adults, doesn't matter your race, gender, or ethnicity, who have been enabled. It's one thing to be supported versus having to do things by yourself. It's one thing to have somebody constantly have to do things for you versus you knowing how to do things for yourself. We don't want codependency issues. We don't want attachment issues. And personally, we don't want to be enabled. Like, yes, there's going to be a time and a place where, like I said, you're going to receive assistance, but it's like, if you believe in God, ancestors, and universe, it's not the people, it's the assignment and the alignment. So don't ever feel like if you had to put yourself to college compared to people that you know who had to go to college from their family and friends, that you are less of a person or that you're not going to be able to receive the things that they receive. And I'm speaking from experience. When I was 17, I had to get a job. If I wanted my nails done, if I wanted my hair done, my mom, my dad specifically told me that if I had my own money, I could buy whatever I want. There were some people I went to school with, they didn't have to have a job. They didn't have to work. But I didn't sit here and compare my life to them because I knew their mom and dad did everything for them. And it's not about being bitter. It's not being resentful, because once again, if you have parents who are willing to support you and take care of you, that's their job. That's their job. But at the end of the day, it's really important how to do things for yourself. Nobody is knocking you. Same thing where you have a lot of people whose parents are successful and like celebrities and they call them Nepo babies. If their parents didn't work hard, those people wouldn't have the things that they have. Nobody is mad at them. But it's like, in order for you to be that person to give on to people, you didn't have the connections, you didn't have the resources. So it's like, you have to take your time and you can't compare yourself to them because you don't even live the same life. The third thing you have to realize with you being independent and being self-made is that you are taking your time, you are putting in energy, you are doing things brick by brick, you are getting out the mud. So it's like, there's no timeline to your success or what you do. It could take weeks, it could take years, it could take months. You have to be okay with the time that you were given and the tools. You don't have to complain about not having certain things because you don't. Like, speaking from experience, with me having to do certain things for myself, me complaining about what I don't have compared to what other people have, how's that going to help me? That doesn't change my situation. When you are self-made, you will be able to overcome adversities and trials and tribulations because all you have is yourself. The fourth thing that you need to be aware of is that you shouldn't want to depend on other people. Once again, when you need assistance, God, ancestors, the universe will provide those things for you, because there are going to be moments where maybe you don't have everything figured out in a moment, but you will never not go without if you choose to believe in those things. And I'm not here to force religion or spirituality, so take what resonates, leave the rest. But it's like, if you know, you'll know, because once again, nobody has control over your life other than what you choose to believe in, even if you're atheist, spiritualist, or religion. Once again, there's going to be a time and a place where you receive certain things versus when you have to figure out things yourself. Because what happens when you don't have those resources and you don't have those tools and you don't have those people? And I'm speaking from experience. There's been moments in my early childhood and up until now as an adult where I realized I don't have certain resources. I don't have certain tools. So what am I supposed to do? Not overcome them? What I'm supposed to do? Be stuck and stagnant? No, I'm supposed to figure it out. And with me figuring out by myself, it takes time. I've never allowed people who had certain handouts or certain resources make me feel less of a person, because once again, these people don't know how to do anything for themselves. There's nothing wrong with being taken care of, but if you don't know how to take care of yourself, you're going to be dependent on people. Most importantly, too, another thing about me, I'm the type of person I would rather go without before I ask for help or resources unless it's needed, because I've had a lot of people in my life, not everybody, but like 50-50, a lot of negative people that would only do things to throw it in my face or to make it seem like I needed them. And I never want to ask or be around people who do things to make it seem like I need them. Like, that's one of my biggest pet peeves. And I think you're disgusting. You're a horrible person to sit here and to do something for somebody just to be like, oh, well, you needed me. Or if it wasn't for me, you wouldn't have. That's not true, because I didn't ask. I'm the type of person, if I help people and I assist people like you all, it's because I'm choosing to. Nobody has to help you. Nobody's obligated to help you. Not even your parents or people that you know, to a certain extent. Like, yes, they're meant to raise you and take care of you because legally they signed a contract, your birth certificate, and etc. But it's like, at a certain point, you do and you should want to do things for yourself, unless you don't have things to help you. But in those moments, like I said, when it's time, you will receive what you need to receive. But it's like, being self-made it is a flex, and you should be very proud of yourself. People need connections. People cannot put themselves in college. People cannot buy their own cars. People can't start their own businesses. A lot of people are used to community. A lot of people are used to having things done for them. Once again, it's not about being bitter. It's not about being angry, but it's just like, it hits different. And if you're somebody who's always had the resources and you always have help, once again, congratulations. You live a blessed and fortunate life. Be grateful, because it's a privilege. People don't understand that everyone doesn't have that experience. So it's like, rather you've had help or rather you've had to learn things for yourself, learning to be independent is a flex, especially nowadays. Because what happens is, when you're not independent in your life, it shows up. It shows up in your jobs. It shows up in your relationships. It just shows up. And it's like, wherever you lack, you're going to have, like I said, some people who think they could take advantage of you. You have some people who think they can manipulate you. Like I said, I've encountered ugly people, nasty spirit people. They thought that when I got into their life that I needed them. And I slowly but surely had to remind them, I met you this way, which means I'm going to leave that way. There's nobody in my life that has done so much for me that I could not live my life. And the closest person like that is no longer here in my life, which is my father. He's the one that provided for me, right? He provided for me. That's what, like I said, that was his job. That's what he was supposed to do. And even with him doing that, when I turned 17, I remember I asked to get my nails done. He told me, no, I needed to get a job. I wasn't mad. I mean, I was upset because, as a parent, like I said, or as a child, like I said, your children sometimes be entitled. And it's just like, I'm glad that my dad did not enable me, because at the age of 28, he's no longer here in my life. What am I supposed to do? Like I said, if you have parents and people that love you and appreciate you and support you, that's good for you. That's what they're supposed to do. But don't ever take them for granted, because once again, somebody has to do the work. Same thing with the celebrities. Nobody's mad at people like the Kardashians. Nobody's mad at Kris Jenner's children, because she's the one and their father are the ones who made sure that their kids have businesses. But them individually, they had the help. If you have the help, you have the help. If not, you don't need to be comparing yourself. You don't need to be rushing. But most importantly, you do need to be proud of yourself. And you need to know when to receive help and when not to receive help. Because like I said, I'm the type of person, because I've encountered like people who are just negative, it just makes you not want to ask for help. But it's like, As you're healing, as I've overcome that, I've realized the people that are meant to help me are going to help me and not have any motive. So it's like if people help you, but then they throw it in your face, don't ask them for help. Figure it out yourself. If people do things because they trying to make it seem like they're better than you, don't. I've had so many people say so many disgusting things to me, all because they thought I needed them. You guys know what I did? I left them and I never asked them for anything. And I don't surround myself with those people because, like I said, that's disgusting. If you don't want to help somebody, obviously you're not obligated to help them. And I'd rather much somebody tell me no, that they don't want to help me because they don't want to help me, than to be like, oh, well, if it wasn't for me, you wouldn't have had this, or you need me to do this for you. Like, no, it's a want. You feel me? And the same people that do that are the same people that they need assistance in those areas. They need help in those areas. Because it's like when you are self-made, when you are independent, you're always going to be that way. So it's like learn to do things by yourself. You don't have to worry about people not supporting you. And the people that, like I said, generally who are meant to be a part of your life to support you, they're not going to have a problem because they know that with them supporting you, they're going to get blessed and you're going to get to where you need to be. It doesn't take away from them to support you and help you. This is why I create these videos. People talk about being blessed and being a multi-millionaire and being spiritual or religious or connected. And it's like, okay, if you have all these resources and you're so privileged, why don't you help people? Why don't you share? I share the knowledge that I've experienced by being your naturopathic physician, being a motivational educator, and helping people to the best that I can. I don't gatekeep this information. This is why I tell you guys to challenge and to question people, because it's like if people claim to be helping and loving and supportive and teamwork and let's kumbaya, okay, then be about it. If you need help, they shouldn't have a problem with giving. They're not going to be like, oh, well, if it wasn't for me, no. So it's like learn to do things by yourself. I'm telling you from experience, the more you have to be independent, the more you learn to have to be alone, the more time, energy, and effort it takes you to get something, you just grow this appreciation. And it makes you a big stepper, makes you a big hitter. It makes you a boss. We're bosses. That's why I say I'm your favorite rich auntie. If you guys follow me anywhere else on social media, I'm a businesswoman. And this just happens to be one of my business accounts. Like, I post this information for free because I appreciate you guys. But like I said, if you see me anywhere else, I'm a rich auntie. And rich has nothing to do with materials and wealth. It's your spirit. It's your energy. As a boss, you could put other bosses on because it doesn't take away from you. If you're a boss, if you're really abundant, because abundance doesn't have no limitations. If I help you guys, it's because I genuinely want people to do well. It's not just about me making profit. I know this information. I could gatekeep this information. But what does that do? When somebody wants to help you, it needs to be out the kindness of their heart. So it's like, once again, when people tell you no, or when people want to have motives, because a lot of times too, the reason why people don't support you is because they know you could do things by yourself. Like I've had conversations with people from my past when I remember I was just having a moment and I decided to express that. I had people tell me, well, you'll be fine. You'll be okay. They try to like invalidate my experience. And I was like, you know what? This is why I be person, like I said, I don't even like coming to people when I have issues because I know a lot of people love to invalidate my experience. But I was like, you know what? They're not wrong. When people know that you can do things by yourself, they don't want to help you. They don't want to support you because they feel like, well, if I help them, they're going to surpass me or they don't need my help. And that's not true. Everyone at times is going to need assistance. People need people at the end of the day. So it's like, don't allow people who don't want to support you make you closed off, because those are just the people that are not for you. And if you have assistance, help people, self-made or not, like I said, it's not a comparison. It's not a competition. It's just everyone's reality is not the same. But it's like, don't allow people, like I said, try to make you feel bad because you had to do things by yourself. Because a lot of the people who do be having help, they couldn't do things alone. That's why they need help. Like certain people have certain resources because if you take away their money, if you take away their cars, you take away all like external validation, internally, they're suffering. That's why certain people have certain things, because they wouldn't be able to exist because they lived a certain life. So it's just like, regardless if you're self-made or not, learn to support yourself. You're not going to feel overwhelmed because like the more you support yourself, the more you gain confidence, the more you'll have motivation, the more likely it is you're able to achieve what you want to achieve. And you'll take your time. And like I said, you'll be proud of yourself. Like I'm extremely proud of myself, you guys. You should be extremely proud of yourself. You don't need somebody to tell you that you're proud of yourself. Once again, just because you don't need support and you don't need people to help you, once again, doesn't mean that you don't appreciate it. But it's like if you appreciate yourself, you know that when people help you, or you know that when people support you, it's a privilege. Like it's a privilege for me to pour into you guys. I don't owe anybody anything. And that's the thing. When you support yourself, you know that nobody owes you anything. And you could walk out, you could leave out of situations. Like there's a lot of people I've left and never talked to, and I never will talk to because I didn't need them. Even with relationships. As a lady, I never needed a man because like I said, I've always had my own money and my father was in my life. And even if my father wasn't in my life, and even if I didn't have my own money, I personally I'm just not that type of person. I'm just not that type of person. Like I've never been in a relationship with a man and was like, oh, I need you. No, I don't. Same thing with a friend. I will leave you and act like or not even act like, I would just never talk to you ever again. I'm definitely that type of person. I don't believe in rekindling anything from the past unless I'm supposed to. And that's the same thing with you. Don't ever allow anybody to gaslight you or manipulate you and be like, oh, if it wasn't, no. So it's like when it comes to my business, nobody can be like, oh yeah, I support it. No, you didn't. No, you didn't. And the people that do support you, like I said, those are the people that you need to pour into. So if people are not pouring into you, you don't have to pour into them. And you don't have to feel no type of way. Like when people watch my videos, you guys, my genuine supporters, they comment, they like, they engage. Because that's free. Everybody else that be watching my videos, when I have like 200 views and only 1 like, I have videos that have 70 views, 0 likes, 30 views, 0 likes. Y'all didn't help me. I know who's genuine and I know who's not, and that's the same thing with you. So I'm gonna end off the video because now at this point, you guys, I'm just yapping. But that's what this channel is about. It's to motivate, educate, inform. Let me know your experience. Let me know what you think, as well as liking the video all the way to the end and watching it all the way to the end. I got eye boogies. I need to wipe this lipstick off in these brows. And yeah, make sure to follow me on all my social media platforms. All the information is down in the description box below. If you're interested in the service in the session, make sure you click the link below. And if you're not able to afford a session in the service, which is understandable, DM me on Instagram, but follow me on my Instagram and on my TikTok. I will be going live answering you guys' questions, comments, and concerns. But yeah, when you're self-made, you can support yourself. And you're grateful for support when you have it. If not, life's not going to stop just because people don't want to be there for you, because you're there for yourself. So thank you for watching. Let me know what you guys want to talk about and how this video resonated with you. Until next time, peace.